What's going on, Wellness Warriors, and welcome back to another episode of Reach Home Recovery. You remember how back in the day, when they used to invite you to a family function? Well, when you got a narcissist in the mix, it's a family dysfunction. Now, why do you say that? I say that because to a narcissist, the family is the ideal breeding ground. Think about it. If you're a narcissistic parent and you had a kid, or vice versa, it could be the other way around. You could have a kid with narcissistic tendencies. You're stuck with that individual for 18 plus years. And during the course of that 18 plus years, they use that time frame to hone their narcissistic skill. So they figure out what works, what doesn't work, what works, but what they need to fine tune so they can perfect, so that when they use it on somebody in the outside world, it's just, they won't even know what hit them because they perfected it for years. Now, what happens with this is sometimes a narcissist creates a little baby narcissist. May not be exactly the same, but a lot of the same tendencies. And they'll go out there in the world and they'll continue that generational curse. Or sometimes you might create the opposite. In some situations, this actually creates an empath. But it's a damaged empath because they've grown up in that toxicity. So they're most likely to get a toxic partner in the future and continue that type of relationship. That's actually a situation I dealt with. So that's what I'm healing from. So if you got a narcissist, one narcissist in the family, you mess around and go to a family reunion, you got two narcissists turn to four narcissists turn to 50 narcissists. You don't know what you're getting into. Okay, now you know how narcissists operate in a family unit. Now you're asking, how do you deal with it? Real simple. You deal with it very carefully or not at all. That's it. Short, simple. I thank you guys for coming out. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm gonna give you a little bit more than that. But the real reason it's that simple, and if you had a choice, I could see some of you out there saying, okay, well, I'm just not gonna deal with it at all. But put yourself in a situation where you're the child of that narcissist and you have no choice but to. So you have to tread very carefully. Or put yourself in a situation where you have a partner, where your partner isn't necessarily a narcissist, but they might have some immediate family members that are. And you can't avoid the family forever, unfortunately, if that's the case. So when you do go, you gotta tread very carefully. Now, I know some of you are thinking, you done been at this narcissist academy for a while. Not just me, but several other speakers, several other educators. And you battle hardened at this point. You solid. You can take it. But even as hardened as you are, you still shouldn't expose yourself to it. You know what? I'm going to jump in about early on this one. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. And you know what? It's a short one. I don't even have to read it from the book. I can go off memory of this one. It says, don't be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. Okay. Don't be deceived. Don't be misled. Don't think that you've gotten so much information and you're so emotionally stable that you can consistently surround yourself with people of poor character, people that portray narcissistic characteristics, because eventually it rubs off on you. So to give you a reason why you shouldn't fool with bad company, I'm going to go to a fictitious example first. Me, I'm a big movie fan. Sci-fi horror, that's where it is. And one of my favorite movies is The Thing. If you haven't seen it, I'll give you a little bit of a premise. It's about a team up in Antarctica They unearth an alien in the ice, and when this alien thaws out, it starts killing crew members. But when it kills them, it takes on their likeness. It copies everything. All their body features, their voice. It even mimics a portion of their memory. So they go ahead and they do this. The alien reproduces, and then it slips in amongst the other crew members that are normal, and it looks for somebody else to hunt and prey upon. When I think of that premise, I think of the narcissist all day, every day. Especially when I start diving deeper into it as an adult. As a kid, it was just terrifying. I was like, oh, scary, but a good movie. But now that I look back at it, if that species was advanced enough to mimic us solely and completely, you could have copied our reproductive organs. You could have copied all the internal organs, so that now all you needed to do was eat the things that we ate and reproduce the same way that we produce. You would have no reason to kill anybody anymore. But it was just the thing. It was in the thing's nature. And the more and more I think about it, that's a narcissist all day, every day. Okay, I like where this is going. Let's keep going with this example. So from now on out, the thing and the narcissist are interchangeable. I'll keep using the thing. You interchange it with narcissist in your mind. So now the thing in this movie, it's not particularly strong. I mean, it is. One-on-one, it can take you. But it knew it couldn't take a group of 2 or 3 people. So it had to be deceitful when it was amongst the group. The thing had to get you to believe in it, that it was an actual real person. It then got you in a situation to where it isolated you, and when you were isolated, that's when the thing attacked. Sound familiar, doesn't it? Now, there was 2 things that the thing was weak against. The one thing was fire. Now, fire just would have killed it. That was its weakness. It had no defense against it. The second thing was the truth. Keep in mind, since it knew it couldn't take a group of 2 or 3, and if it was found out, it would quickly be eliminated, deceit was something that they had to maintain. That thing had to blend in. That thing had to make you seem like it was one of the crew members or one of the family. So when the crew devised the test, when they figured out something was wrong and they devised the test to figure out which one of them may actually be the thing, as soon as the truth was revealed, the thing, that narcissist, goes crazy. Drops all the deception, narcissistic rage, alien rage to a level you've never seen before, and they just start attacking. Because they know that their number one game is up. Man, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this thing because that sounded every bit of a narcissist to me. All right, I had a little bit too much fun with that fictitious example, so we're gonna pull it back into the real world. Those narcissists, those things, are right there among us. They're just in the midst of our family, in the midst of our friends, wait for somebody to deceive. Wait for somebody to believe them just enough so they can get them isolated. And then that abuse, that feeding off of them, that slowly killing them, and then turning them to another version of themselves, is their goal. It's in their nature. Just can't help it. But there's a saving grace, because that weakness that the thing had in the movie is the same weakness that narcissist has here in real life. I'm not talking about the fire. I'm talking about the truth. Now, when I say the truth, I'm not expecting you to know the truth about every single narcissist out there. But the truth in terms of what narcissism is, what that personality disorder compiles, what all compiles it. Because essentially, all narcissists are going off for the same playbook. It's the love bomb, the initial get you invested, the slow indoctrination of abuse, that back and forth between abuse and love bomb to get you hooked, and then the discard. Now, certain narcissists use different abuse tactics, but it's generally the same playbook. So if you arm yourself with that knowledge, either you're getting it from this channel, or you're like myself, you're getting it from multiple sources, but arm yourself with it, and it'll defend you as you go on this walk through life. As you have to deal with those narcissistic family members that you can't necessarily escape. And they'll realize it too. Because when they're playing their game and they approach you and they see nothing is working, because you have fundamental truth of what that type of person, what that type of being is, they'll back up off you and move on to the next one. So that's what I mean when I say tread carefully or don't deal with them at all. You still don't expose yourself for long periods of time. But even if you do, even if you have to, arm yourself with that truth and you'll be all right. Not only you'll be all right, you'll be able to help somebody else. Because that group in the movie, they work together to get out of that thing. And I'm looking forward to working together with you. All right, I'm gonna cut it tonight. Thank you again for giving me a chance to fellowship with you. I love you. And until next time, peace.